Alright, so these are the Sony WF-1000XM4s. So this is the XM4 earbuds on the Sonys, and I'll be replacing the battery on these guys. So if you're having poor battery life on them, or so if they're draining quick, you can go ahead and replace them. It's a fairly straightforward process. This is actually one of the easier models to work on. And the battery cell that you would want would be right here. So this is the Z55H. This is a 3.85 volt lithium ion battery. So it's going to be this button style. And it's both batteries. And it's the same batteries on both sides. It's going to be fairly straightforward. We'll just go ahead, heat up around the edge here, grab some alcohol, put it in the sides a bit just so it can soften up the adhesive, and we'll open up both sides. Alright, now what you would want to do is, there's double-sided tape there holding this ribbon, so go ahead and grab the flat side of your spudger. Have back and forth motion just like that. Just separate that. There we go. Now we'll pick up that clip right there. Okay, so that's all in there. We'll just heat it up a little bit. Just a little. If you do apply heat, this plastic here has a very low melting point, so it will melt quickly. If anything, you might want to actually just use some alcohol. We'll close that clip down. Same thing on the other side. Alright, put some alcohol in your spudger, and we'll go ahead and separate this board here from the battery. So you want to put this against the battery, and again you want the back and forth motion. And you kind of want it pointed a little bit down, so you'll be going against the battery and not the board. We'll just slice our way through. There we go, and that should maintain your double-sided tape from the inside. And I like to just pick that up a little bit right there, that connection point. Alright, we'll do the same thing here on the left side. Get some of your alcohol in there. Against the battery. And there we go. Alright, next we're going to pull this battery out of here. What you would want to do is grab a flathead or your spudger, or anything that you would like. And I'm just putting a little bit of alcohol just to help with the adhesive coming off. Alright, and just grab the bottom of the battery. Just lift it up and out. And the whole cell comes right out. And I'm trying to keep as much as I can of the original tape there. Again, I'll lift up that side there. We'll do the same thing to the other side. Okay, so now we've got the batteries out from both sides. We'll go ahead and grab our replacements. And you could clean them up. I already cleaned these, but you could clean up with alcohol to make sure you have a clean surface here. And just fit it right in. Alright, and we'll put this connector down. So you would want to line it up roughly like so, so you don't protrude this over here, the edge. So if you need to, you pull it back a little bit, and you can just press down on top. Not too much pressure, but just enough for it to have the double-sided tape adhere. Alright, then we'll go ahead and connect this ribbon back up. Alright, and we just put the ribbon back onto the double-sided tape right there. Alright, let's repeat that for the right side. And if this tab is flipped open, like so, go ahead and close it before doing this. This will just make sure that you don't damage that. So line it up, and then just apply some constant pressure. Okay. Now let's pick up that connector right there. Alright, and that ribbon is now secured on the double-sided tape over here. Connector is closed, everything's connected up. Now I'm going to go ahead and just prep the edges here for the adhesive. This is a cotton swab with some alcohol on it. We'll just make our way around. Alright, do the same thing to the top cover here. Alright, now what I'll do is put my adhesive first onto this top cover part of the shell, so into that groove, then make the connection here. That's just going to make it easier to make sure that everything's adhered properly all the way around. Now if you put too much, that will be okay. You can just clean it up with some rubbing alcohol afterwards. Okay. Now go ahead and we'll make the connection here, like so. You could just use your fingers for that. Alright, once it's clipped in, and give it a good squeeze just to squeeze out any excess. As you can see, this side we have a little bit of excess that came out. This side looks pretty clean here. And you can use some rubber bands or some clamps. I'm going to use some clamps here. And we'll place it like so. And this adhesive usually completely cures within 24 hours, but it sets in like 4 hours or so. Alright, now we'll proceed to the other side. Again, the same thing. Alright, now we just got to connect this up. There we go. And seal it. Alright, so that's how you replace the batteries in the XM4 earbuds. And here are the original batteries that we pulled out of the unit. Again, it's the ZennyPower Z55H, lithium ion, 3.85 volt, 0.29 watt hours, negative on the top, positive on the bottom.